What's up, guys? It's Max Clausen, and I know it's been a little while since you've seen another one, but we are back at it again with a new updated deck profile of my Chimera Illusion deck. Now, full disclaimer of sorts, when I was really in debate about making an update to this, because for a little while, when the new set came out, it took a little bit to get the cards like 3 Nightmare Apprentice, because she is like a $30 card, as well as the Nightmare Throne for the update of my Ubel deck, which will be coming, so stay tuned for that. But the last week, or this week or so, last week, went to locals, ended up splitting a box, and ended up miraculously getting both Nightmare Apprentice and Nightmare Throne, so we are good to go. So again, the Ubel deck will be coming, but took this to locals the Tuesday, so last 2 days of the time this video will be uploaded, and did fairly okay. There were a lot of combos that I did like, so you'll be seeing that soon. But enough rambling, we'll be getting into the main and the extra, and I will actually be showing the side deck as just a little special thing, because I was able to get the cards easily. But normally, for the rest of my side decks, if you want to see them, you will have to check out my Patreon, so be sure to check that out. Without being said, let's jump in the pro. We'll just be skimming through most of the other cards that are new, already new. But for the new card, obviously, we have the 3 Nightmare Apprentice. This card is so good. Any Chimera or Illusion based deck that is, using the Illusion cards, you want to play this card at 3. This is your one card starter of the deck, which is what the deck somewhat already had with Cornfield Coatl, but she is much better because she gives you both a body and a search. So for first, you have to activate her effect to discard a card to summon her for cost. And on summon, normal or special, she'll add 1 illusion monster from your deck to your hand, so that can get you into your Coatl or your Sword Knight, whichever need be, or any of your other illusion cards that you would like to get to further out your plays. And of course, she has the whole illusion base gimmick where she cannot be destroyed in battle, and neither can the thing when she battles. But she again is very good. No matter what deck you're using the illusion stuff in, you want to play her at 3. She is a must. Next, we do have the standard, the 2 Chimera Big Wing Berthamet. Self-explanatory. Summon him, you get your Chimera Fusion and a Beast monster, but then you're locked into Fusion Summoning when you resolve that effect. So you always want to resolve him the last thing later into your combos. Next, we have our 3 Mirror Sword Knight. You can tribute him from the field at quick effect speed to summon one of your monsters that mentions Chimera Fusion, and while it's in the grave or on the field, you can banish him to negate a monster effect your opponent controls that is on their field, which from my last duels you have noticed me point out, which is kind of sad. This isn't just the best kind of monster effect Omni negate, but it is what it is, I guess. Now we play the 3 must-of, the Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws. On summon, add your level 5 Fiend or Chimera Fusion, and when used as fusion material, he'll search an illusion monster, which now it will always be Nightmare Apprentice. And Big Wing Berthamet, when used as fusion material, will revive an illusion monster from your graveyard. Next, we have Cornfield Coatl, which will search out any of your original 8 illusion-based monsters, and while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to negate any targeting effect your opponent activates against your card while you control Chimera the Flying Mythical Beasts, and just negate and destroy that card. And then for the last illusion-based monster, we still play Master Tau. This card is still a must-have play card because it helps extend your combos. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can revive any one of your illusion cards, but for the rest of the turn, you cannot summon anything from the graveyard except illusion monsters. So it's good to use as fusion fodder or as discard fodder for your fusion material or Berthamet. Now for the supplementary Beast and or Fiend cards, we do main deck now the King Tiger Wanghu, and it is really interesting seeing this card being back into the meta somewhat, being that you can search this card with Baphomet, so you don't have to play any more of it, and it hits so many decks in the meta right now, even rogue decks. Things like Snake Eyes, their little monsters won't be able to stay on the field unless they have the field spell. It really punishes Yubel decks because, you know, all their cards are literally 0 attack and defense. It defeats Purely because they can't stay on the field with him on the field. And it even gets over the Voiceless Voice because whenever they try to summon low, he'll destroy her, and that effect does not activate. It is a continuous effect that just happens, so don't let your opponent try to cheat you into going like triple tactics, talents, or thrusts. This effect don't activate. Just like the Blackwing Synchro Monster, this is just a continuous conditionary effect that he has. So anything with 1400 or less attack is instantly destroyed while he's face up on the field. Next, we do still play the 2 Egent Chain just because it's one of the best cards to help for your fusion-based strategies. Nothing more, nothing less. And yes, I do know, as I stated and a lot of people stated in my previous videos, his effect only happens if you get it from discarding from the hand or sending it from the field. So, you know, we Yu-Gi-Oh players, we either don't read or we're just, you know, there's too many damn cards in this game. Now for the hand traps, this is, it's how you gotta play so many hand traps to play the game is ridiculous. So we're maining the 3 Ash, the 3 Ghost Bell, the 3 Ghost Ogre, which is really great that it's seeing a lot of play. The 2 Effect Veilers, you know, if I had the 3rd one, I might be playing that, but I don't know how I felt about this, so it's just 2 Veilers. And its trap version in 3 impermanents. This is the hand trap ratio that, you know, I was encouraged to use, and it did help out decently. But there were times when I draw 2 of this and then 2 of this and just like something else that didn't really help, like a Baphomet or something. The only thing that doesn't matter, like, if you draw your Nightmare Apprentice, you're good. Your hand can be like 3 or 4 hand traps or whatever, and as long as her effect goes off, you're pretty good. So that's the hand trap lineup. It's kind of sad Yu-Gi-Oh's devolved to the point where you have to play hand traps to even stand a chance, but you know, it is what it is. Now for the other spells we run and traps, we have the 3 Chimera Fusion, a must stay for a Chimera deck. The 2 Fight for Patchwork, along with the 2 Polymerization, the 1 Call by the Grave, and this actually is the 41st card. I was in debate of what I would take out for this card, but I'm just like, you know, I'll just play with 41 cards, see how I like it. I am going to update this deck again, maybe change it to the runic version, but 41st card is there can only be one, the Tikaboo. So this deck actually can play under this because we have beasts, we have fiends, we have illusions, and with some of the meta decks now, like Snake Eyes, a lot of their strategy focuses on pyros. We have Tenpai dragons that obviously focus on dragons. We have Voiceless Voice. Well, they can play under this because they have warriors, dragons, and fairies. The whole point is, like, if you know what deck you're fighting, this is a good card to keep in, but if it doesn't stop that deck too much, it's an easy card to side out. That is it for the main deck, a clean 41 cards. Now for the extra deck, and I really like how I made the extra deck. It's kind of spicy and kind of really pretty good. Of course, we have the standard of Mud Dragon and Garura. Then we have the standard of two Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts. You will usually go into 1 during the combo, obviously, and the second is just there for just in case situations, so it's never really bad to have it, especially in a pure illusion Chimera deck. Same goes for the 2 Baphomet. On summon, he'll Foolish Burial one of your Beast, Fiends, or Illusions, and on Fusion Summon of Chimera, it will discard a card from your opponent's hand. So if they do try to hand trap you to death, they're just helping add up into more of this. As long as you can get into that, you can essentially rip 2 or 3 cards from their hand with assistance from the opponent. And while these two, along with Chimera the Illusion Beast, they are all treated as Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast while on the field or in the graveyard. And this one is your OTK enabler. As stated, for every illusion monster used for its summon, it gains that many attack on monsters. Whatever it attacks can't die in battle, and neither does this. But after that battle, the monster's attack will go to 0, and its effects will be negated permanently. And these two have grave effects on your opponent's turn. Banish to summon a Beast, Fiend, or Illusion from your graveyard. Banish to summon a Beast, Fiend, or Illusion that's banished, so they can just recycle into the original Chimera. Next, we have the Magnum Reliever. I still think this is a good and bad card, because honestly, I always thought his effect was on summon to put a poly card or a fusion card back to your deck, but it wasn't, so you know. It's still a decent card to have, puts up a bit of pressure to your opponent. Next, we do still main the 2 Guardian Chimeras. Oh, you just know honorary Chimera in name and just helps with the combos. Next up is 2 spice cards that I have seen other profiles utilizing. Well, one rather. The first being Chaos Angel. Yes sir, we can make this boy in this deck, because if you hadn't noticed, Nightmare Apprentice is a level 6 dark. Oh, I know the glitter is kind of hard to see it. And Mirror Sword Knight is a level 4 light. 6 and 4 make 10. Quick maths. So he will always come out with both beneficial effects. And the best part is, he is a fiend monster. So if he's in the graveyard, you can use Chimera, banishing it, summoning this from the graveyard. On special summon, this card will banish a card from your opponent's field, non-targeting. At least I don't believe it targets. Yeah, it does. You know, can't win it all. But the fact that we can synchro summon into this and constantly revive it to the field, getting its banish effect, is busted. Well, it's really good. So I like the fact that we can play that in here. We also main the Sky Typhon because it's also a fiend and, you know, helps get out of sticky situations. Now for the new addition second new addition to the extra deck, we have my favorite Link monster being Cross Sheep. This card is so goated, and you'll see it in a few of my duels. But the fact that this card lets this deck be even more free is ridiculous, because for every one of whenever you summon something to its link markers, depending on what extra deck card it's pointing to at that time, it gets a beneficial effect. So the main effect we're resolving is fusions, which when a fusion monster is underneath the zone and a monster summoned to it at the same time, you can summon a level 4 lower monster from your graveyard. So it helps extend getting your Mirror Sword Knight back, or your whatever else. And then of course we have the Muckraker and the SP Little Knight. Obviously you can replace this with Dark Charmer or something else if you can't afford Little Knight, but if you can afford it, play it. Now going into the side deck, and it is actually pretty interesting. Let me know what you guys think of it. So we have the Barrier Statue for floodgating against, if we know what deck we're fighting that can't get over this. Auto kills Snake Eyes if they don't have the field spell. Auto kills Voiceless Voice because they can't summon anything. Well, they can summon the Relinquish Anima, but that's about it. So really good card still. A new card I am deciding to put in is the End of Anubis. This card is actually still pretty insane. Not against most matchups, it doesn't really work too well, but with the matchups it does, it really works. So this is the very first text of it, that is pretty much Necro Valley while it's on the field. The effects of spell, traps, and monsters that target cards in the graveyard or activate in the graveyard are negated. So play this against Voiceless Voice, Snake Eyes. What else could be a thing? Purely, I guess, would be another thing. Just just shut all that down. Next, we do side in the 1 Diabels, the original Sin Keeper, being a walking anti-spell for the opponent, and being able to pop cards that they do set. And the card you want to start secking in is the 2 Pankratops, being that a lot of people are starting to side in like main or side in things like Skill Drain, which does kill this deck, or any other floodgate traps or spells, just get rid of them. And it's another card like Fenrir that must be respected and answered, unless they'll lose their stuff. Then we play the 1 Harp, the Feather Duster, the 2 Cosmic Cyclone, the 2 Lightning Storm. We side the 2 Super Poly because there are some matchups where this card doesn't really work, and we only really have 2 extra deck cards that can go into this, so we're deciding to side it. Then we played the original anti-spell, even if it's at 1, you still like to play it, the Saki 1-0s. And the 2 D-Barriers, just for mainly Tenpais, but every other deck that's currently in the format can get hit hard with this. Just use it against Royce's Voice and they just sit there and pass. Well, that's gonna be it for the Illusion Chimera deck update. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and what you guys would change, what you would add to the deck, and let me know how you like the new Chimera support and the new plays we can do. Again, as always, if you like the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for new content, and be sure to check me out on other social medias, and check out the Patreon, as I am trying to get that up and going. But I need you guys help to incentivize me to keep making that one a thing. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.